happiness and moral duty are inseparably connected. It is better to be alone than in bad company. Honesty is the best policy. Liberty, when it begins to take root, is a plant of rapid growth. Guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism. The Constitution is the guide, which I never will abandon. Observe good faith and justice toward all nations, cultivate peace and harmony with all. I cannot tell a lie. If freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led, like sheep to the slaughter. Labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial fire called conscience. Be courteous to all, but intimate with few, and let those few be well tried before you give them your confidence. The harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. Associate with men of good quality, if you esteem your own reputation, for it is better to be alone than in bad company. Perseverance and spirit have done wonders in all ages. The foolish and wicked practice of profane cursing and swearing is a vice so mean and low that every person of sense and character detests and despises it. Truth will ultimately prevail. Where there is pains to bring it to light, let us with caution indulge the supposition that morality can be maintained without religion. Discipline is the soul of an army. It makes small numbers formidable, procures success to the weak, and esteem to all. The best and only safe road to honor, glory, and true dignity is justice. We should not look back unless it is to derive useful lessons from past errors and for the purpose of profiting by dearly bought experience. We should not be ignorant of their designs or trust to their professions, but guard against their snares, and with united counsels preserve our independence. Few men have virtue to withstand the highest bidder. Let your heart feel for the afflictions and distress of every one, and let your hand give in proportion to your purse. I hope I shall possess firmness and virtue enough to maintain what I consider the most enviable of all titles, the character of an honest man. To be prepared for war is one of the most effective means of preserving peace. Worry is the interest paid by those who borrow trouble. I have no other view than to promote the public good, and am unambitious of honors not founded in the approbation of my country. We must consult our means rather than our wishes. It is infinitely better to have a few good men than many indifferent ones. The basis of our political systems is the right of the people to make and to alter their constitutions of government. Let your discourse with men of business be short and comprehensive. It is not the policy of this country to suppress its differences, but to permit them to argue and clash. Arbitrary power is most easily established on the ruins of liberty, abused to licentiousness. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. I have learned to hold popular opinion of no value. It will be found an unjust and unwise jealousy to deprive a man of his natural liberty upon the supposition he may abuse it. The rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened. The marvel of all history is the patience with which men and women submit to burdens unnecessarily laid upon them by their governments. It is not the eloquence, but the virtues of the orator that will be remembered. We should not be ashamed to acknowledge truth from whatever source it springs, even if it is brought to us by former generations and foreign peoples. We ought not to look back unless it is to derive useful lessons from past errors and for the purpose of profiting by dearly bought experience. The very atmosphere of firearms anywhere and everywhere restrains evil interference. They deserve a place of honor with all that's good. Experience teaches us that it is much easier to prevent an enemy from posting themselves than it is to dislodge them after they have got possession. The nation which indulges towards another a habitual hatred or a habitual fondness is in some degree a slave. It is far better to be alone than to be in bad company. The turning points of lives are not the great moments. The real crises are often concealed in occurrences so trivial in appearance that they pass unobserved. It is impossible to rightly govern a nation without God and the Bible. A people who are possessed of the spirit of commerce, who see and who will pursue their advantages, may achieve almost anything. I walk on untrodden ground. There is scarcely any part of my conduct which may not hereafter be drawn into precedent. The Constitution is the guide which I will never abandon. The administration of justice is the firmest pillar of government.